Welcome for this evening session. Sorry being late, 5 minutes. Let's just sit for 2 minutes, very comfortably. Just feel from where you came, from your house, market, walk down, entered from the door, steps down, and you have taken your cushions. Just feel seated here. Online, do you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Okay, just to have the recap, we are doing the chapter on Samadhi from Bodhicharya of Shantideva. I mentioned in the last session that Samadhi, it is made of Sam-adi. Sam means to gather, and Adi means to place the mind. So which essentially means in the meditation, we are gathering our mind to a single point and then focusing that gathered mind to a particular meditative object, which can be anything. It can be Buddha statue, it can be a flower, it can be a breath, whatever you really feel is comfortable. But we normally take breath because I really find any meditation practice, whether it's a Buddhist, whether it is a Jain, whether it's a Christian, whether it's Islam, I think the breath is used by all of them. So it's a more convenient because we are always breathing, always breathing. So it's not required to have a special effort to find particular or unique object. And if you really see the tradition in the Tibetan, they call it Shine. Shi means the peace or calm, and Ne means abide. So most of the shamatha practice or the concentration literature, they use the word in English, calm, abiding. Why it is required? Just to repeat, if we want to be happy in life, it's very essential that the mind is calm. The mind should not be wandering. The last session I mentioned, the research done by the Harvard University, they have written an article, which is there on the website also. The wandering mind is not a happy mind. This is based on the experiment we have done. So our mind, as long as it's wandering, we can never experience the happiness. So it's very essential that our mind, which is wandering in 1,000 different directions, is brought to a single point. So this is what the practice of the meditation is. And when we are releasing samadhi, it is not just focusing on the object, which we call it dharana, if we are going by the word in Sanskrit, dharana. Dharana means to bring the mind on that object. And the second aspect of that is we have to put our attention, dhyan dena hai usko. And the third then is the samadhi. When the mind, which is focused on a particular object and attended to and is stabilized there, that is really the samadhi. Now the attention of the span could be anything. Vivekananda ji in his book Yoga says that any meditation which is less than 2 hours is no meditation. His Holiness in his book, How to Practice, he puts it 4 hours. Only then we could really say that the mind is totally stabilized. That's a kind. But the normal practice or the normal state of the mind is, how is that? William James, who is the father of the American psychology, in his book, he has put that when he measured the span of the attention of the people, it is just 4 seconds. The Harvard University has again done with their undergrads, they said that it is just 7 seconds. That's the kind of the attention span. So can we really gather our mind going in 1,000 different directions, get it united, put on a particular object and stabilize that? This is what the gist of this chapter of the Samadhi is. So we did that last time. I think I read the verse 2, which clearly said that, therefore, living this worldly life and totally abandon mental wandering. So the mind wandering, can we really abandon it? Which is essential way of saying that the wandering mind is totally engaged and absorbed in the worldly things. And the worldly thing doesn't become the basis for the happiness. Now the question is that, what is really happening? To what things our mind is really getting distracted? So I'll go to the next verse, which says, because of loved ones and desire for gain, disgust with worldly life does not arise. So what is really holding us? It is the attachment to the loved ones and the desire for the gain. These are holding us, and we feel that we are very happy in that. Hence, there is no distaste for the worldly life. We are really enjoying that. So what he is really pointing out is that we need to have a disgust to the worldly life, dissatisfaction with the worldly life. That will give a kind of the inner impulse to come out of the samsara. Let's imagine we are all sitting here. Suddenly, if this place gets caught by the fire, what we will do? We will all run away because we know that we are going to suffer. So similarly, I think in samsara also, there is always dissatisfaction. But we are not aware of that. So can we bring that awareness? That is what it is really being said. And I think when we're really talking of the attachment, it's really very interesting. I would really suggest that there was a teaching by the teacher, what is her name? FAMT, really, Ravina Kot. She gave a teaching here on the attachment kindly. She said very clearly that we may feel that we are not attached, but she said that attachment is so deep-rooted in us. Even it's gone down to our bone marrows. We are not really aware of that. We feel that we are really very happy in that. And one of the teacher, he has said that we are so unaware of these imprints of samsaric things going in us. It's like if there's a white sheet of paper, and if you drop oil, what will happen? The whole white paper would become oily, and it would be very difficult to really take out the oil from that. It has really gone down that extent. So the question is that to the loved one, should we really have that kind of attachment? We are in the samsara. We can't say that we don't have relations. We can't say that other human beings are there. So the question is that, can there be different type of relationship with them? In another verse, I think he has said that the relationship to the other beings should be like the relationship of the bee with the flower. The bee will go extract the nectar. It will not spoil its beauty, its color, its petal. So when we are relating with others, all this is from the dharmic point of view, dharma point, the liberation, nirvana point of view. Can we relate with others so that whatever is really necessary for us, for our dharma progress, we take that, and others we do not? That's a very delicate relationship. And that could apply not only with the human beings, even with the environment also. Can we have that kind of the relationship? So I think that is one. And then the second is the gain. How, whatever we really require, is there a stage when we could say enough is enough? Can we bring that mindset? I think a very beautiful sentence in Hindi. I think we all understand Hindi here, which says that प्राप्ति में अप्राप्ति होना असंतुष्टि का आधार है. The Kerala gentleman who is Indian, lives in Delhi, teaches in IIT, is saying that he doesn't understand what it is. Huh? You either. So what is being said is that whatever you have got, which is enough, if you see that it is not enough, that become the basis for the dissatisfaction. Okay? So it's another way of saying that if you want to have more possessions, can we really give a thought? Do I really require this? Do they help, or are they going to help me for the progress of my Dharma? Question. I heard His Holiness saying that he is very fond of watches. He goes to the shops, mall, watches. Oh, so beautiful. Then suddenly the thought comes, thought of the impulse, oh, should I get it? And then the second thought, do I really require this? Do I need this? No. I think then there is no question of having the possession, more and more of that. So this is what the gain, our life engaged in getting more and more and more. I think in the last to last session I mentioned, I really find it very interesting when I say this. The Nigam Bodh, which is really the cremation ground here, I think those who were not here earlier occasions, If we go there on the big gates, there are many gates. The shlokas of the Gitas are written there. Go and go and go. And at the end, it is written, यहाँ तक आने के लिए धन्यवाद. यहाँ से अब मैं अकेला ही जाऊंगा. So I think ultimately it's the journey of the self. So if it's the journey of the self, how much weight we would like to carry? Heavy, small. And on the Dharma, when we are talking of the weight, it is the karmic imprints. What kind of the karmic imprints we want to carry, and what kind of karmic imprints we want to leave behind? I think that's really, really a big question. So I would read this once again, just to make it very clear that the attachment and the gain on the Dharma path are more of a burden than of a help. Because of the loved ones and desire for gain, disgust with worldly life does not arise. These then are the first thing to renounce. It's the renunciation of the mind, renunciation in mind. Such are the reflections of the prudent mind. So is the wisdom mind which will think of renouncing the attachment to the loved ones and the desire to gain more and more. Yeah, I think this is what this verse really says. And recently, I was really reading a very interesting story. One of the disciple went to the guru and asked, can you really tell what is that I should be really should need to avoid so that the journey becomes very comfortable? So he said, Kanchan, Kamini, Kirti. These three words. What are these? Kanchan, Kamini, Kirti. What is the Kanchan? It symbolizes gold, which essentially means the wealth. So this disciple thought, yes, he must really follow this very strictly. He was tilling the land, and suddenly he found that there was a gold there. He kept on thinking, what should I do? My teacher has told that he should not really get fascinated by the gold. Then he said that, okay, I'll pick it up, but use it for making a good ashram for my teacher. So he called the people, started building, and suddenly there was one person who was one-eyed. He kept on noticing from where he is getting all this wealth. And he kept on noticing. And then one day he found that, yes, he is keeping all the gold there. He goes and picks up everything gone. So the gold is gone. Then he thought, wow, yes, I think the guru has told me very correctly. I should not really possess the health. Doesn't matter, it has gone. He went in the forest inside. He said that now he should really do good meditation, and he should avoid at least Kamini and the Kirti. Kept on meditating. Somehow, some people in the village came to know. So there was a lady who started coming, cleaning the area in the front of the ashram. So initially he said, that, no one should come. No one should really come. And they say that after some time, he became a father of 3 children. So that is what the comedy. He said, no, I think now these 2 are gone. At least I should really avoid the kirti, which is really the fame. Went deep inside, kept on meditating. And the people coming, we have this problem, that problem. He said that I really don't know. So one day somebody came, I really suffering. He got so annoyed. They said that he pulled his one here and, you take this and go. And somehow the person got cured of their suffering. And after that, the whole village started coming and pulling his. So this is what the attachment. Kanchan kamini kirti. इनसे कितना दूर रह सकते हैं? I think these become very clear. Like kirti, for instance. What is happening nowadays in any of the country, in the political field? Very clear. So this is what the attachment is. And attachment to the attachment, they say it's like licking the salt laced with honey. शुरू में बहुत अच्छा लगेगा, लेकिन end में it's not really going to help. So this is what the verse number 2 I would say that kindly reflect. Does it make any sense? And to see that one is really attached, who is that seer? It is the mind. So as long as the mind is fluctuating, it's a wandering, it can't really see. So this mind needs to be stabilized. It needs to be brought together. Unless or until it is brought together, single-pointedly focused on whether the attachment makes a difference or not, we need to really meditate. It's really the meditation. So how it is said? Here he says, the stability of the mind is like a candle flame that at this point very vulnerable. Solitude, we have, I think the first session we did a lot on the solitude, why it is really required. External solitude and the internal solitude. So here it's made very clear, solitude is like a glass chimney that keeps it from blowing out in the wind, that means the flame. When the flame is stable, we can take the cover off. The wind is no longer a threat. Now, in fact, it will make the flame burn like a bonfire. So to begin with, it's very essential that this solitude, and then there's mind inside that. It's just like if we saw the seed of the flower, it's very essential that we give protection so that it's not eaten by the cows or the other animals. But once the tree comes up, then it's not required. the protection which was given is taken out. So similarly here also, it is being said is that it's very essential that we practice solitude. It's like a glass container. Okay, do we agree with that? Right? So with these two aspects, I think we are going to do the actual meditation now. How to even out our mind state, which is today very, very biased. It is not in the state of stability or the equanimity. It is said in this chapter, our mind to the superior people. How is our mind to the superior people? To the bosses, to the people who are rich, to the people who are very famous. We are always jealous of them. Okay. Whereas, as per the Buddhist practice, it is told that we should rejoice. Rejoice. I think here in this hall, I don't remember who, one of the speakers said that in the Rolls-Royce car agency, there was a worker. He used to share him that every person who comes to buy the Rolls-Royce takes out from the garage, he used to rejoice. You know, that's called easing out all the jealousy. And the second is, how is our mind with the colleagues, the people working in the same level? It's always competitive. So there, what we are really told is that, can we be loving, kind? And if the people who are below, how is our attitude towards them? We are always showing arrogance to them. So can we show the compassion to them? So it essentially means that we are creating a ground at the mental level which gives loving kindness to everyone. Okay? Does it make some sense? So we are going to do loving kindness, compassion, meditation. Kindly sit, whatever the posture that you really feel comfortable. One of the criteria of the posture is Sithir Sukham. Sithir means the stable, Sukham is the comfortable. So in this practice, typically, I think we talked about this in our last session, the Virochana posture, the legs, if you can sit in the Padmasana, it's okay, otherwise half Padmasana, Sukhasana. The hands, you can put it on the knee, and your spine should be totally straight. And the shoulders relaxed, the neck slightly down, the lips very soft, placed on each other, not hard. The tongue touching the upper palate, the eyes half closed, half open, or closed if you have been doing for a longer time. To make the posture very relaxed, feel the touch of your cushion, your hips touching cushion. At the touch point, there's a sensation, you have to feel that. The lower back, middle back, shoulder blades, relax. Relax your whole back from shoulder blade down to the hips. Back of the neck, lower, middle, relax. Relax the top of your head, right side, left side, forehead, eyes, ears, cheekbones, nostrils, lips, chin, relax. Relax your whole face. As if it's smiling from inside, like a very calm, shining full moon. Throat, throat pit, chest region, navel region, whole abdomen, relax. Make it very soft. Right hip, touching the cushion. Gently roll down your mind through the core of your thigh, knee, calf muscles, ankle, toes. Relax your right leg. Come to the left. Roll it down through the core of your thigh, knee, calf muscle, ankle, toe. Relax. Relax your whole body. Once again, bring the mind to the touch of the cushion, hips touching. Just feel your spine. Move up vertebra by vertebra and relaxing your spine. Relax your whole body from inside. Feel this relaxation. Relax in this relaxation. Now, keep the body as it is. Very soft, very gentle. It's sitting solidly like a peak of the mountain. But from inside soft. Now take 3 breaths and calm down your mind. While exhaling, feel as if your mind has dropped to the cushion. Deep breathing in. While exhaling, feel that the mind has dropped on the cushion from inside. Feel that the mind is relaxed. Let there be union of the relaxation of the body and the relaxation of the mind. Totally relaxed. Mind in the body and the body in the mind. In totally relaxed state. That is the ground required for being happy. When there's a gap between the body and the mind, the stress comes in, the tension gets in, because they're not working in unison. Just feel body totally. This itself is a kind of the meditation itself. Totally relaxed. If the body and the mind is not relaxed, meditation cannot be stable. It is like building a castle on the frozen ice. Sooner or later, it's going to collapse. Enjoy this state of peace, relaxed. Now, only the mind, the body remaining in the restful state, the mind doing the meditation. Just visualize on the top of your head, whatever the space that you can go up to is filled up with all the awakened beings, all the realized beings, Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, of all the traditions. All the traditions, they are totally filled up. And all around, we feel all the living beings of the six realms. In the front, all the people whom you don't like. To the left, mother beings. To the right, the father. At the back, all the strangers. And you are in the center. Just visualize. Very far off. And you are in the center. Now, bring the mind to the center of your heart. Just think all the beautiful feeling that you have got, that you have experienced. Maybe you got some good news. Maybe met old friend, sitting at the sunrise, sunset, all those feelings. Just bring that in the center of your heart. And then all those collected feelings becomes very radiant. heart, which is the center of loving kindness. That is the nature of the heart. Bring all good feelings. Someone smiled. You help someone, which gave a very good feeling. The heart in its heightened state, full of energy, soothing energy. You feel how warm is the heart. Make it as bright as possible, as stable as possible. Very radiant. Like a full moon. Full moon, so calm, luminous. From this center, let the rays go in the front to the infinite space, touching everything in the front, going 1,000 miles. The landscape, beings, the people whom you don't like, all send these rays in the loving kind, the compassion to them. Open the heart. Let the rays go. Is it going? Yes. Front. The whole landscape in the front, 1,000 miles, is lit up with the radiance of your heart's rays. It becomes so luminous. They're all very happy, the people whom you don't like. Open the heart. Send the rays, luminous. Let it go. The whole landscape in the front is lit up with the radiance of the loving kindness that you have really sent. Send these rays. Now, bring the mind again in the center. Make it very bright. Send the rays to the left, wherever biological mother is there, and likewise innumerable mother beings. Left is the moonlight, mother's love. Send these rays left, 1,000 miles, lit up. Really paying the kindness to our mother by loving her. We can remember how she took care of us. Send these rays. The whole landscape lit up with the radiance of the loving kindness, which has gone from the center of your heart. So wonderful. Once again, come to the center of your heart. Make it very radiant. And let the rays go to the right side, which is the sun energy, the Father. Let the rays go 1,000 miles. Lit the whole space. Rays going to the right. Fathers of the past life, the present life, all. Yes. It is acknowledging their contribution, expressing our gratefulness to them. Now, come back to the back where all the strangers are there. Maybe the driver who is driving the car, the taxi, rickshawala, anyone, or the people who have really built this gompa, we are seated on the cushion. Send the rays of loving kindness, the compassion to them. They may not have been our biological mothers, but they have been motherly in working for us. Strangers who have been motherly and who made our life very comfortable. Send these rays of loving kindness, the compassion at the back. Lit the whole landscape. Opening the heart. Just visualize there are the beings in the God realm and the semi-God realm up in the sky. From the center of your heart, let the rays go up. Fill the whole space up to the sky, like the fountain of light going up and making the whole space lit up with them. We never know what type of connections we must have. Karmic connection. We can express thanks to them. Whole space lit up with the radiance of your loving kindness and compassion up to the sky. Now, just visualize the being who are below the earth. From the center of your heart, send these rays of loving and compassion down, whatever the depth that you can really feel, is going down like the lightning. Like the lightning is going down. maybe just for the mini nanosecond, they are very happy. Send these rays down, going down like the lightning. Once again, send these rays of loving compassion from your heart in the front, lighting the whole landscape to the left, right, back, top, down, as if you are in the center and you are giving this motherly feelings to them. I think we can say, I think I'll just say, and we can repeat that 3 times, visualizing all these beings all around you on the top down. May you be free of suffering and the causes of suffering, wholeheartedly. We will all say very loudly 3 times. Please join in saying so. May you all be happy and may you all be free of suffering and the causes of suffering. May you all be free of suffering and the causes of suffering. May you all be free of suffering and the causes of suffering. Just abide in this feeling. And the second time, may you all have happiness and the causes of happiness. We will do this 3 times again for the happiness. May you all have happiness and the causes of the happiness. May you all have and the causes of the happiness. May you all have happiness and the causes of happiness. Just rest in this feeling. Just listen to all the sound that you can listen in the atmosphere. Very far, very close, loud pitch, soft, whatever you, yes. Listen to the sound in this room. Feel the touch of the cushion on which you're seated. Feel your normal breathing. Your normal breathing. and very gently, at your own pace, you can come out of the meditation. Okay, we can have some sharing, or if there is any question, if I can answer, I'll do. Otherwise,
Aditi, we talked about physical solitude in the last two sessions also, and then the mental solitude. But how do we know when it is enough, like the physical solitude? Because until and unless we have challenges, let's say, how do we realize that, okay, this is enough, and then now I'm trained, if I use the word trained, that I can face the challenge with mental solitude.
yeah, I think we have to really be, when Shantideva is saying, he was addressing to the monks.
Yeah.
Okay, so their whole ecosystem is very different. Yeah, in the case of normal being like us, it may be really the challenge. So what is really suggested by most the teacher is that, is it possible to go off and on whenever possible to some retreats? Because that environment is very different. Okay, yeah. And the mental solitude, it's very, very challenging. But as it was said, if there's a physical solitude that can give a kind of environment where the mind really becomes very calm. It's like if you go to the Chandni Chowk, or if you go, let's say, somewhere on the top of the mountain, the physical environment will not allow in the Chandni Chowk to be, because so many things happen there. So I think one way is definitely the solitude, for the long term. Another one is that whatever possible, is it possible to have at least 5 minutes, 10 minutes, just to be with oneself? I mean, for you, you are here, it would be, but for other people, is it really possible? I think yes. It's a mental challenge. Because I know in another group, one of the ladies, she said that she would sit in her balcony for her breakfast, and her children used to come and say, oh, this, that, but she did not really bother, kept on going there, and now it becomes part of the household schedule. Everyone accept that. So I think initially there's a challenge, but I think it's really possible.
Talk about detachment and
Yeah.
how is it possible to be detached and succeed in life? You can job professional is make profit or the politician to the student. How can we be detached?
I think if you're really in the business, let's take like the Bill Gates, for instance. He disappears from his whole business environment. For about a week, he is totally away. So if it is possible for him I think it's a mental challenge, yes. That is one. Second is, he reads at least one book every week, because that also gives a kind of the mental environment. Warren Buffett, he reads 7 hours in 24 hours, because that book also has its own environment. It has that message. When you read that, those imprints are going in your mind. Let's say, if I say solitude, what comes in your mind? थोड़ी देर के लिए तो ऐसा लगेगा, हाँ. Yes. That is one way of really. If you are really in the business environment, why you want to have business? What is the motive? What is the driving force? It is really to make money for the self. It is really to create the job. It is really what do you think? What is your purpose, since you really talked about the business?
It's a general question.
That's a general question. Okay, then, yeah.
Yeah, profit is a part of it.
Yeah, profit is a part of it. Mhm. The profit maximization has no limit. That's why, like, purely from the Buddhist point of view, I would say the Buddhist economics, if you read like Nagarjuna's Ratnavali, even he has put how much taxes should be collected. If one is earning, how much should be given in dana? Okay. So what do we do with the earnings? Because from the Buddhist perspective, this is not the end of the life. This is one phase of the life. It is going to continue. How do we really want to see our next life? And what is the next life? There is all the imprints going from here. Let's ask a question to ourselves. Does loving kindness really makes sense? Does it? Does it? Any experience? Any? Because if we don't have the trust and the faith in this capacity in us, the talking about this and the doing meditation has no meaning. Let me share 2 stories. One is that once we were doing the meditation, and this was in Dharamshala, so group, And then here we did all, normally we do one by one, you know, the loved one, then the stranger, then the people whom we don't like. So when we're doing that in that sequence, so I said that, okay, think of the person whom you hate or whom you don't like, and send this rays of loving kindness, compassion. Okay, so we did for a fairly long time. So the next evening when we were sitting again, so I said that any experience sharing. So this was the American group, all from US. So one of the ladies, she was from California. She said that our experience was very miraculous. So what has happened? She said that one of her friends with whom she had no connection for the last 10 years, she thought of her and kept on sending this love to her. And she said that Indian time, 2 o'clock at night, she gets a call from her. It may sound miraculous, but it has really happened. This is the story written by a businessman. He was in the business. He was cheated by the partner and did not give the money which he was to give. So he said that he just kept on sending this rays of the loving kindness to him, never asked. After 8 years, this man comes, he said that, gives all the money back. I think some of us, we are doing Geshe Dorje Damdul's course. He has shared many times, and he has shared to me also. Before he came to Tibet House as a director, he was in Dharamshala. And the university in US, the Emory University, the students used to come and they used to have one semester with him. I think this was for about 4 months. He said the university semester was over, the students were preparing to go back. And one day when he was sitting in the office, one of the boys came and started talking and said that one girl has to leave early, but she doesn't want to leave. So he asked why. He said that her mother was suffering from cancer and the relationship between the two was not good. So, okay, Geshe-la heard that. And the next day, this girl came, started talking to Geshe-la. Geshe-la means the teacher. And he said that she had to go early. And she said that she was not interested in going back. So Geshe-la asked why. He said that my relation to the mother is not good. So Geshe-la said, you see, the way you are healthy, the intelligence you have, I'm very sure that your mother must have contributed. Suddenly she thought of her mother's love and she started crying, asked Geshe-la, what do I do? He said that, okay, you send the message that you are coming. She sent the message. Before leaving, she came and met the teacher and admitted to him that it took her 3 days even to send that message because the relationship was so. Anyway, she went, took care of the mother. Mother passed away. And she had to write a kind of what is called, not even thesis, some kind of the dissertation on her semester. She wrote, and at the end, she wrote, I dedicate this to my mother, and if I have the next life, I would like to have her again as my mother. So what was the cementing force? It's only the love. Yeah. Let us sit silently for 2 minutes, and whatever merit that we have got by sitting here, let us dedicate this for the enlightenment of all the beings in the 6 realms. In whatever manner you really would like to dedicate, you can do that. Okay, thank you very much.
Just like to say a few words, I don't go away. So, अब बैठे रहिए.
नहीं, अगर ये फॉर्मेलिटी है तो मैं उठ जाऊंगा. नहीं नहीं नहीं.
Formality,
हाँ,
नहीं.
नहीं.
If you get up and I sit it. So, Ajeer ji is from Kinnaur in Himachal, and I won't say much because it will only embarrass everyone. And if you have been to that place or places like that, you'll know that Ajeer ji has been nurtured in a very different environment from the city environment that we know. And I feel that Ajeer ji expresses it in his way of teaching, which is very calm and measured and thoughtful. One gets the sense he's not in a hurry, like most of us are, like I am. And that's a very wonderful thing, to be able to slow down, listen carefully to the way he presents things with stories, excerpts from teachings, and so forth. So this is very precious, I think. We should be very grateful we have somebody like Ajeer, who's come from that environment, worked in government, has, I think, truly, well, he still goes to visit his daughter in Melbourne, so I guess he hasn't totally renounced the family and comfortable life. I think going to that wonderful city, and also to Dubai, where he has another child. Of course, I'm just joking. So Ajeer, he's not going to be with us now for a while. When do you come back? He's not there. Okay, we will find out, and hope that you will come again and teach us, because I think it's very valuable. Of course, the main reason it's valuable, not just because Ajeer is from a village in Kinnaur, which is also the village of a very, very great Lama who was born there, Kunu Lama Rinpoche, who was one of the teachers of His Holiness, the Dalai Lama. But the other reason is that, you see, we should listen to Ajeer is because he not only studies and reads, but he also meditates. He also practices. He reflects and he practices. This is quite very rare nowadays. So we're very fortunate. So just as a tiny measure of our gratitude, Ajeer, this is not a sword, but it's something else. I hope you can use it wherever you go. Don't stand. Okay. Thank you so much on behalf of all of us. Thank you. Thank you all for coming. Thank you. Without you, yeah.
Few announcements, and there are some new members who have come for the first time. So please do check out our programs. They're there on the bulletin board. Also, you can check out on our website, Tushita. We have some very important programs coming in February, and there is a